Well, hello there and good day. Thank you so much for joining me at Dystopian Report, the place where we talk about the nightmare world we found ourselves in, because Dystopian Review is all about the nightmare worlds of fiction. I'm your host, Jesse Pullman. This is my cat, Ariel. She is currently occupying my right hand. And today we are going to talk about, well, the idea of Trump succeeding, because a lot of people who I respect deeply and truly have made the argument that we really have to hope Trump succeeds as president because we're all on the same plane, goes the metaphor. And whoever the pilot is, in this case it's Trump, we need the plane to get to its destination and land safely. And I respect that. And in fact, in 2016, 2017, I'm sure I thought the same thing. I hope Trump succeeds because failure would be bad for all of us. I'm gonna post up two things that I think will help my argument as to why I think this is a misguided approach and why I personally am hoping Trump fails miserably. Here we go. So we have Marissa Kabas. She runs the Handbasket. She's a very good journalist. I followed her for a while. Office of Management and Budget, that's OMB, temporarily pauses all agency grants and loans programs. From the memo, this is the Trump administration quoting here. The use of federal resources to advance Marxist equity, transgenderism, and Green New Deal social engineering policies is a waste of taxpayer dollars that does not improve the day-to-day lives of those that we serve. And it goes on. It's got a whole memorandum about how the American people elected Donald J. Trump to be president of the United States and gave him a mandate. They didn't give him a mandate. He didn't even get 50% of the vote, but that's another story. Basically, yes, the federal government is going to cut the money that it gives to organizations. And there are people commenting. You can see the commentary thread there. That's fine. So what is this about? This is about punishing people for transgenderism, for Marxism, and for Green New Deal social engineering policies being a waste of taxpayer dollars. I don't know how to begin with how wrong that is, but we're going to move on to a different thing that almost caught me up as me thinking it was OMB, which is a post from Molly White. She's the independent author of Citation Needed and is focused on the cryptocurrency industry. She's a critic. The people now in charge of the Office of Personnel Management apparently don't know how to scrub PDF metadata and have exposed the original authors of the guidance they're publishing. 2, Noah Peters and James Shirk have links to the Heritage Foundation and Project 2025. I mean, we're not surprised, are we? We knew they were linked to Project 2025. We knew that the Trump administration was going to do Project 2025, but you know, Noah Peters is the true author of OPMs. See, OMB, OPM, they get me all the time. See, I need to think more One Punch Man, which I did a dystopian review of. You should totally check that out when you have some free time if you want something fictional. Peters also authored the memo exploiting loopholes to bypass limits on political appointments. This does touch on OMB, because James Shirk authored a joint OMB-OPM memo on the return to office implementation plans and the joint memo authorization federal civilian hiring freezes. The bottom line is that I'm going to go down a little further here. So this is Molly White reporting from r/Fed News, which I don't know what that means. I'm assuming it's federal news, like federal people. So this is a throwaway account being posted on a subreddit. OPM employee here, we are not the bad guys. Let me say this in no uncertain terms. OPM has been compromised and taken over. The very backbone of the American government, the HR of all HR in the U.S. government, has been taken over by outside politicals. In just 5 days, they managed to push aside dozens of non-political career civil servants who were there specifically to prevent the civil service from becoming the president's henchmen. Now, this ties into the recent firing of, I think, 12 inspector generals that was attempted, but clearly blatantly illegal. I'm not going to get into every single thing. I'm going to go back to full screen because I want to look at you directly and I want to say this. I know we want Trump to succeed because we think Trump succeeding is the American people succeeding. The problem is it isn't. We're on this airplane together, but Trump is got people in the back throwing people out without parachutes. Ask yourself if you live in a neighborhood where there are some impoverished people, or have been some impoverished people, and they're not there anymore. Ask yourself, where did those people go? Because they didn't just disappear, I hope. But they went somewhere. Ask yourself about all the raids. We spoke in one of our recent videos about raids on... It was a business, and they detained a U.S. veteran who they questioned his papers. Or her papers, I can't recall at this moment. Ask yourself about, supposedly it was an ICE raid, but it was actually a Secret Service raid on an elementary school. All of these things happened within the first week, and this is why I gave it a week before I made this video. I was waiting because I wanted to know for sure if Trump was going to try to be on that plane with us. And the truth of the matter is, while Trump's pushing people off the plane, he's got one of those mid-air refuelers that are funneling his people off into a special plane, where they get to be in charge of the other plane. Some people are thrown out altogether. Some people are captured on this other plane that's subordinate to the new plane that runs the show. We're not all on the same plane. Some of us are being thrown out. Other of us are just being controlled. And that's just kind of how it goes. So no, I don't hope Trump succeeds. I almost really misspoke there. I really don't hope Trump succeeds because his success is America's death at this point, and we don't want that. So I don't have much more to say. I'm supposed to have a script for ending episodes, but I don't at the moment. I do. It's here. It's not. I don't have one. So if you enjoy this kind of thing, and by enjoy, I do mean find it useful. I don't think you honestly enjoy living in a dystopian situation. And again, most dystopian situations, as we learned them in literature, are framed around things that happen to real people in real history. Well, now there are ICE raids and trans people are being medically, screwed over here, because if you look for... Oh, I'll show you real quick, because I have it somewhere. This is the Canadian Press. Of course it's Canadian, by Jamie Stengel of the Associated Press. So it's like the AP funneling to Canadian Press. The U.S. Justice Department drops case against Texas doctor charged with leaking transgender care data. There you go. He broke HIPAA, but the federal government's going to let him go. They're pushing trans people out that door. So, anyway, if you found this useful, please hit the subscribe button. It really does help the channel grow. It helps make sure that more people get these videos. It would really mean a lot to me to see us. Even just hit 100 would be amazing. But either way, I'm going to keep making these when I have something to say. Thank you all so much for joining me. And as always on this channel, pieces.